Welcome back to Insight. We are joined now by Heidi Huiskamp Collins, owner and principal at Huiskamp Collins Investments LLC, for some insight into trends we're seeing locally. Heidi, thanks so much for being with us today.
Absolutely, glad to be here.
Of course. So let's start by explaining about your business and what type of business you do for people.
Absolutely. I'm a licensed financial planner. I've been investing for about 40 years, but I've been a financial planner for about 20 years. Started the trust and investment division at Blackhawk Bank, and I've been on my own as a financial planner for about 5 years.
Wonderful. So what trends are you seeing locally when it comes to real estate in our area?
You know, it's interesting. I've had several clients this year who, even though they're coming to me, they're kind of in this place of fear. Oh, I heard interest rates are going up. You know, is it too late to get in on the party? Can I still buy a home? And what about a second home? You know, a lot of boomers, a lot of retirees are looking at second homes. And, you know, here's the thing. I have seen people still anxious to buy. You know, as the lady said earlier, rents are going up. I have a lot of young millennial clients that are coming in. They want to start families and they want to buy their first homes, and they're still going that route.
What about the appetite for big spending purchases like this compared to historic times? Is this summer a good time, this fall a good time to make a purchase like that?
You know, I would say yes. I'm going to speak not just about real estate, but also about cars, also about very expensive vacations, big home improvement projects. It's kind of tricky. I mean, we've had a wonderful bull market since 2008, 2009, and people have kind of an amnesia. They're thinking, you know, since 2008, 2009, the only way the market goes is up, you know, which is not reality. But they kind of got blindsided the end of 2021 when inflation, you know, is so elevated, 40-year high, and Jerome Powell from the Federal Reserve came out and said, hey, we're going to raise interest rates 6 times in 2022. But very interesting, even though the stock and bond markets have gone down, and I've cautioned investors, you know, when we're seeing market downturns, that's probably not the best time to tap your investments and take money out. You know, we should leave that money in to recover. But there's this FOMO out there. There's this fear of missing out. People on social are seeing these fabulous vacations that their friends are taking. They're seeing the second homes. They're seeing the, you know, really cool home improvement projects. And so they're going for it, even though I will caution them, you know, maybe we should wait. People are anxious to spend money. And, you know, the big mantra that I'm hearing in 2022 is, you know, I survived COVID. I deserve this. Yeah. I hear that over and over again. I'm entitled to this. I deserve this. I've been through a lot.
Yeah, and you mentioned it earlier. You deal with boomers to millennials and everyone in between. So obviously different types of people have different types of concerns. What kind of concerns are you hearing from some of these people?
You know, young people, student loan debt is huge. I started a new business in 2021 called Huiskamp Collins Educational Planning to serve young people and their families, you know, doing college planning. I get millennial couples coming in with hundreds of $1,000s of student loan debt. You know, and their student loans are on pause right now. It probably would have behooved them during COVID when, you know, they didn't have to pay to have kept up with those monthly payments. So those, you know, all those payments could have been applied to principal, but they were using that money instead for other fun things, right? So for the first time in 3-4 years, I'm seeing credit card debt going up. During COVID, everybody was getting their stimulus checks and they were stuck at home. So we were at all-time high savings rate in this country. But that money's gone. People spent it. And I'm starting to see credit card debt creep up again. And it's not just millennials. It's also boomers. It's also pre-retirees. And it's kind of concerning. I had someone about a month ago come to me, a boomer, and really nice balance of a 401k that she rolled over. She had $200,000 worth of debt that she wanted to tap to pay off that debt going into retirement. That's concerning. That's concerning for this generation, who's getting ready to retire because they really have not adequately saved for retirement.
Yeah. So what advice are you giving to some of your clients that come to you and say, I want to make this big purchase, house, car, whatever it may be? What are you telling them in terms of what they should do from here?
I'm pretty cautious. When I'm doing financial planning for clients, I'm telling them we need to look at you living until you're 90 or 95. And over again, I get, I don't want to live to be 90 or 95. Well, guess what? With medical advances in technology, you don't get to pick. And so my job is to make sure that you're going to not run out of funds and you're not going to be eating cat food when you're 80 years old. So that's my job. That's why you're paying me. So I'm urging caution at this time. But I'm getting overridden a lot too. With, like I said, people saying, I deserve this, I want this, I want to have the second home, I want to have the big, expensive motor home to travel, I want to have the expensive home improvement project, and I want to do it now.
I do want to mention too, before we go, you mentioned student loans, and obviously that's pretty big in the news right now. We're still in a pause right now, but we may be on the precipice of some sort of forgiveness for some group of people. How do you tell people to kind of maneuver their way through that situation at this point as it stands? Sure.
What's on the table right now is $10,000 forgiveness. One thing, like I said, it's not unusual for me to talk to folks who have $100,000 plus of student loan debt between a couple, and too often those young people are not even working in the field where they got their undergraduate degree. So it's heartbreaking. But $10,000 is on the table, but one thing people don't understand is if that happens, if $10,000 is forgiven, the year it's forgiven, guess what? You have to pay taxes on that full $10,000. And people missed that message. They all think that, they look at me like I have two heads and one of them's green. They can't believe that. But that's part of what the message is.
Yeah, certainly something to look out for. Heidi, thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Heidi.
And we will come right back with some final thoughts on our topic today in a minute in Insight.